Hi everyone, this is Meir, talking to you from the School for Self-Healing with staff and clients. And I have a very happy message for you. Summer began, and I want to announce that on September 26 from 10 to 12 Pacific time, I'm going to have my first webinar. I want to educate you to improve your vision, overcome back problems, and overcome joint disease. So we can do it live from 10 to 12 in the morning on September 26, just before I go to Europe. I think it's going to be great if many people all over the world will participate, will take questions, will give you answers. And I want to take good part in your life. And now, listen to the other wonderful stories about wonderful people that I'm working with. Every Sunday, I go to a beautiful city in Marin County, past the Golden Gate Bridge, called San Anselmo. And one of my most revered clients that I have, who holds herself in real good life in spite of very difficult condition of being in a wheelchair for many years already. I'm working with her and I'm helping her to make some steps out of the wheelchair, not really liberate her from the wheelchair, but helping her to be more comfortable and more capable. And unlike other illnesses where the best pool is a warm pool, in the case of multiple sclerosis, the best pool is a cold pool. And whenever I put her in a cold pool and she really becomes cold, then she is capable of stepping up 15 steps. A few years ago, it was easier for her. And now it's hardly possible, but that holds her together, helps her to move better. In my work, I'm trying to help people integrate my work into their life. It is true with adults, where we talk about how do we make our work a part of their life. And I will never forget the 80-year-old woman who was a stroke victim and also had very serious glaucoma with loss of some vision. And one of the most important things in her life was to put her makeup on her face. The side effect for me was that her mirror was great magnification, and I could see my own face and everything that needs to be corrected there, but I don't put makeup on mine. But her big problem was that she couldn't hold her gaze for enough time to put all the makeup she needed. And with the eye exercises we did, with looking at a distance, with resting the eyes, with developing the periphery, she was able to then do what made her feel good, and this is put the makeup on her face. And in the last week, I had one of the most dynamic sessions in my life. I worked with a beautiful, beautiful baby. Her name is Malis, and she has wonderful parents. I teach annually in a small town in Germany called Kirchhachen. Still need to know how to pronounce it. And it is in the Black Forest of Germany, near Switzerland and France. And I had exceptionally large 6-day eye class with incredible results. And one of the women who came to my class had a girl who was born with cataract. Something we should all know is that at the age of 8 weeks, the human brain starts to develop the whole sense of seeing. And if you miss that time, it's considered to be lost vision. In fact, I did, because in my whole generation, physicians did not know that a critical time to allow the brain to see light is 8 weeks of life, and until 2.5 years, we develop our visual cortex. And yet, I build up 70% vision, and that is something most people don't understand how it could be. And I started with 1%. Now, returning to the beautiful baby. So, her doctor did not diagnose her cataracts. And that happens because they live in a village. Only at the age of 8 weeks, the parents discovered that she had cataract. And they had to make specific appointments, so they removed the lenses and gave her glasses instead. But the appointments were made at 10 weeks of life and 11 weeks of life. And the girl ended up seeing 12% vision from near and 10% vision from far. So the mother brought her to me to my workshop, and I gave some individual sessions after the day of workshop. And I gave 2 to her daughter. In fact, to the mother and the daughter, because I was training the mother to work on the daughter in nature. And because the mother took my class, she understood very well what my philosophy is, how we need to stimulate the visual cortex, to look at details, to adjust to light, to pay attention to the periphery. Well, now she was measured again just before coming to see me. And the vision improved from near to 25%, and that is from 12%. From far, it stayed the same. So I started immediately with a lot of work. Her father put the girl on his shoulders, and the mother was jumping and showing a ball to the girl with obstructive lenses. And she identified the colors, but all the time she wanted a different color. And my apprentice kept giving it to her, and she decided who does what. My apprentice gave her mom the balls, and I was standing there and directing them. Then she took away the glasses with obstruction, and the girl looked at houses and could tell us their colors. She only knows how to count to 3 at this point. She's 3 years old. So she counts the houses and tells us each house what color it is. Then I massaged her. Her mother read her stories to an MP3, and it was very interesting. They would try to put an iPhone for her to hear the stories, and she was on edge with the iPhone. It was hard to massage her. But with the calming voice of her mother, and without the radiation that we all have from the phones that everybody uses, she could calm down for 15 or 20 minutes and receive my massage. Then we went to the 2 children gardens. We went to playground. On the way to the playground, we put paper on the bridge of her nose so she would have a sense of periphery. And in the playground, we would move the swing back and forth and show her different colors of different balls with her strong eye, the left eye, being obstructed with an obstructive lens. Then we took those glasses off, and she would start and describe all that's around her. Then we put her regular glasses on, and she could see the flowers on top of the trees. And then we showed her books, children books, and she could describe the colors and look at stripes of tigers, colors of trees, leaves of trees and flowers. And her vision have improved in leaps and bounds. I don't have the machinery to check that, but I'm very confident that the doctors will see that improvement. I know it for sure because my 2 kids were born with cataracts, just like myself. And I worked with my daughter in my living room, having an obstructive lens on her left strong eye, rolling balls back and forth, making a playground out of our whole house. And I see her parents with great concern and great energy to help their kids. And I tell you, it's going to be one of my successful cases, and I'm seeing it up front. So what should you do with yourselves? Why do I have my training courses? Well, I want to train people to do my work. But prior to that, I really want to train people to work on themselves. The more trained you are, the more you need to learn to work on yourself. Whether you're a massage therapist, physical therapist, a dancer, or a person who doesn't do any of that, but just wants to work on him or herself. My segments are made for you. Exercise that you do when you designate time for exercises, and exercise that you do on your own. In San Francisco, those are small classes. And it's wonderful if you come and get the individual attention that you deserve. And at the same time, in a very affordable price, work on yourself and change your life. I cannot tell you how excited I am that I worked with that wonderful girl, and I'm going to have a small boy to work with as of tomorrow with a very different illness called muscular dystrophy. And the worst kind, Duchenne. I'm ready for that boy, just like I was ready for the wonderful girl I worked with. I worked with infants, and the oldest person I ever worked with was 101. It's funny. I saw him for a session, while before him I saw a session with a baby who was now 1 year old. And I remember the infant that came to me who couldn't open his eyes and the doctors did not know what to do with it. And after massaging him, he could open his eyes. And he was then 10 days old. I helped babies to walk. I helped babies to see. I helped adults to move. I help old people. And I want to help you to get better. And we can do it together. Many blessings, Meir.